Welcome to English Easy Hub. Join us as we ignite the flames of your English learning journey together.
Please subscribe to watch and embark on your English learning journey. Don't miss out on the exciting content. In this conversation, Alex seeks advice from his teacher on how to improve spoken English through everyday activities. The dialogue explores practical, engaging strategies for enhancing fluency without relying solely on textbook exercises. Alex expresses interest in integrating English into his daily routine and interactions, while the teacher offers insightful techniques that blend creativity, immersion, and consistency. The focus is on using real-life situations, self-narration, content creation, and casual conversations to make English learning an organic part of life.
Hi, teacher. I've been thinking a lot about how to improve my spoken English through everyday activities. Could you give me some advice on how I can practice without feeling like I'm just doing textbook exercises?
That's a great starting point, Alex. One of the most effective ways to improve your spoken English is by making it part of your daily life in an organic way. You don't always need to sit down with a textbook. What you need is consistent exposure. For instance, one simple technique is to narrate your daily actions in English. Whether you're making breakfast, brushing your teeth, or organizing your desk, try to talk through what you're doing.
Narrating my actions? Like saying, I'm pouring milk into my coffee, or I'm walking to the store?
Exactly. It might feel a bit awkward at first, but it's a fantastic way to build fluency. When you narrate your actions, you're forcing your brain to think in English continuously. You could even take it a step further and imagine you're explaining these actions to someone else. Pretend you're talking to a friend or even a YouTube audience. It helps you with sentence construction and flow.
That makes sense. I think it'll help me get used to forming sentences quickly without overthinking. But what if I can't remember certain words in English while doing this?
That's a great point, Alex. If you forget a word, don't let that stop you. Instead, try to describe what you mean. If you can't think of the word microwave, for example, say something like the machine that heats up food fast. This helps you develop the skill of paraphrasing, which is extremely useful in real-life situations when you're missing vocabulary.
I really like that idea. It forces me to be creative with language. It sounds like it'll improve my problem-solving skills in English too, not just my vocabulary.
Exactly. It's a form of linguistic problem-solving. It keeps you thinking in English without the need to pause and search for the perfect word. As you practice more, you'll naturally fill in the vocabulary gaps over time. Another tip is to use media that you enjoy, podcasts, YouTube videos, or TV shows in English. Listen actively and even repeat phrases out loud to mimic the speaker's rhythm and tone.
I've tried listening to podcasts, but sometimes I get lost because they speak too fast. Should I look for slower content? Or do I need to focus on something else while listening?
It's completely normal to feel overwhelmed by fast speech at first. I'd recommend starting with content that matches your level, but don't shy away from faster content. You can slow down the playback speed in many apps or use transcripts and subtitles to follow along. Focus on understanding the main ideas rather than catching every single word. Over time, your listening skills will improve, and the fast pace will feel more manageable.
That's a good tip. I'll try slowing down the audio or using subtitles until I feel more comfortable. Since I'm already creating YouTube content, do you think it would help if I made videos in English too?
Absolutely, Alex. Creating content in English is a fantastic way to practice. When you speak to an audience, you're more conscious of your grammar, pronunciation, and overall clarity. Plus, recording yourself allows you to reflect on your performance afterward. You can spot areas that need improvement and build confidence over time.
It's a bit intimidating to think about putting my English skills on display like that, but I guess it's a great way to push myself. What if I stumble or make mistakes in my videos?
Making mistakes is part of the learning process, Alex, especially in language learning. The important thing is not to aim for perfection, but for improvement. Your audience will likely appreciate your effort, and you might even connect with other English learners who can relate to your journey. Each video you make will push you to improve, and over time, your confidence and fluency will grow.
That makes sense. Maybe I'll start with a few simple topics, like describing my day in English or talking about something I'm passionate about. Do you think interacting with viewers or replying to comments in English will help too?
Definitely. Engaging with your audience in English adds an interactive layer to your learning. Replying to comments forces you to think and respond quickly in writing, which can improve your conversational skills. You'll also be exposed to different perspectives and new vocabulary through interactions with others. Plus, it's a form of community learning where you can support and learn from each other.
That sounds like a good plan. I think I'll give it a shot. Speaking of interactions, how can I get better at casual conversations in English? Sometimes I feel nervous, especially when I'm speaking to native speakers.
It's completely normal to feel nervous, especially when speaking to native speakers. One way to ease into casual conversations is by starting small. Begin with short, simple exchanges, like ordering food at a restaurant, asking for directions, or making small talk with a cashier. Gradually, as you get more comfortable, you can engage in longer conversations.
I guess the more I practice, the less nervous I'll feel. But what if I don't have access to many English speakers in my area?
That's where technology can really help. You can join online communities, language exchange platforms, or even apps that connect you with native speakers for short conversations. Even texting or chatting online can improve your spoken English. The key is to find opportunities to practice regularly. It doesn't always have to be in person.
I'll look into some of those platforms. And what about reading? Should I also try to read more in English, or is that less important for speaking?
Reading is actually very important for speaking, even though it might not seem directly related. Reading helps you expand your vocabulary, get used to different sentence structures, and understand cultural context. Try reading content that interests you, articles, blogs, short stories, or even subtitles in English when watching movies. Over time, you'll naturally start to incorporate what you've read into your spoken language.
I hadn't thought about that. So reading can help improve my spoken English because I'm internalizing new ways to express myself. What should I focus on when I read? Vocabulary, sentence structure, or something else?
When you read, pay attention to all those elements: vocabulary, sentence patterns, and even tone. If you come across an interesting phrase or a word you don't know, try using it in your own sentences afterward. This reinforces what you've learned and helps you apply it in conversation. You could even keep a journal where you write down new words and expressions, then practice speaking them aloud.
That's a good idea. I think I'll start a journal to track new words and expressions I come across. And maybe I can review it each week to see how much I've improved.
That's an excellent strategy. A journal not only helps you retain what you've learned, but also gives you a sense of progress. Over time, you'll notice how much more confident you feel when speaking because you've internalized so many new expressions. Plus, reviewing your journal regularly helps reinforce those words in your memory.
This is all really helpful advice. I'm starting to see how I can weave English into my everyday life without feeling overwhelmed. It's more about consistency and making it a natural part of my routine, right?
Exactly, Alex. Consistency is key. The more English becomes a part of your daily routine, the more fluent and confident you'll become. It's not about cramming or intense study sessions. It's about little moments throughout your day that add up over time. Stay patient, stay curious, and most importantly, enjoy the process of learning.
I will. Thanks so much for all these insights, teacher. I feel more motivated now to keep practicing in creative ways. I'll definitely try narrating my actions, using English media, and maybe even making some YouTube videos. I'm excited to see where this will take me.
You're very welcome, Alex. I can see your enthusiasm, and that's half the battle won. Keep experimenting with these techniques, and you'll see steady progress. Remember, fluency is a journey, and you're already well on your way. Keep up the great work.
By the end of the discussion, Alex gains a clear understanding that improving spoken English doesn't have to feel like a chore. It can be woven naturally into daily activities. Key techniques include narrating daily actions in English, using alternative expressions when facing vocabulary gaps, consuming English media, and interacting with others online or in person. The teacher emphasizes the importance of consistency, creativity, and patience, as well as the value of making mistakes and learning from them. Alex is encouraged to start creating YouTube videos in English, reply to comments in English, and track progress by keeping a journal of new vocabulary and expressions.
Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share to keep the English learning journey alive.